Just so everybody knows I'm gonna record it because I always do for Snowball Day. So we'll do that, and I'll post it on YouTube. But oh, I need to turn up my graphics settings. Let me do that.
And you get a snowball, and you get a snowball, and you get a snowball.
Yep. Yeah, as Vladimir was saying, don't forget to untether. The easiest way to do that, you can lock the keep star. You can lock on to me. It's all good, and snowballs and fireworks free there, guys. So, Merry Christmas, everybody.
Oh, no festival launcher on market.
Is everybody having a nice day so far? Calm.
Yep. Totally did not stay up all night.
Oh, all the pubs are closed. Oh, that's a bummer. Eric, if you look in the gifts that CCP's been doing, they're in those crates, like the it'll say like the festival crate thing. There will be a festival launcher inside those crates, man.
Don't have it, unfortunately.
Give me a second, I can get you one. Vladimir, have you got it?
Eat snowballs.
Cool, thanks. So next week, guys, I will do one of these for New Year's as well. I was trying to do technically snowballs today, but of course we always use fireworks. But for fireworks for next week as well.
Nice.
So how was our Secret Santa? That so many people participated in it this year. It was crazy. Did you guys get some cool stuff?
Yeah, I got a rock, and Lucky gave me a Rev Navy issue.
Oh, nice. There's no Santa yet. Yeah, so especially if your Santa is uh, American, they're probably doing family stuff, so I wouldn't worry too much about that just yet. Uh, Jordan, do you need a launcher, man? I've got some extras. Cool. Just a second.
I'm on my fireworks now.
Yeah, Jordan, no worries, man. You can keep those. I got dozens of them because I collect them through the year and just toss them into a can for 4th of July, for New Year's, for anything that we decide to do. So I got like 50 of them sitting in a can because I just collect them over the year. Yeah, I think they did them for Halloween this year as well. So like pretty much every kind of holiday that you can think of, when they do those packs, those little cans, have like the Crimson Harvest was the Halloween one. They've got festival launchers in them, so you end up with a ton of them if you just collect them.
Yeah, I put all 4 of my launches on my hound, and now I'm hitting 4 people at once with snowballs and fireworks.
Yeah, I mean that's the only way to do it. I asked for something like stupid and ridiculous, and my Santa got me an alligator. I'm like, all right, touche. He did a pretty good job with it, I have to admit. So I refitted it for today with a full snowball launcher fit. So I've actually got 7 launchers on this thing.
Dang. I should fit my Rev Navy issue with a bunch of snowball launchers.
You actually can't put a huge number on them just because of the slot layout on it. Your hound's
True.
probably just as effective with it. If you've got like a Drake or something like that, the key thing on snowball launchers, or I should say festival launchers, they don't count as missiles or as turrets. They count as utilities. So what matters is how many high slots you have.
Yeah, true.
Tucker said to got you something to space work. Nice. Was it like a DST or something like that? What kind of space work are you doing with that? Oh, Carl's nice. I see that you got yours. Very cool. Oh, Doug, Beehive Bridging Redeemer. Very nice. I have to admit, when you said space work, I thought you meant space trucking. So you got like a blockade runner or a DST or something like that. I get you. Yep, bridging redeemer for sure, for sure. Yeah. So Duck, I know you're listening. You're not in channel. That's okay. You know what you should do? You should ask Div if he found those freighters that he lost. And when he lies to you and says that he didn't find any, I have evidence. I've not lost any freighters, Duck, but Div actually did, and I've got evidence. Yeah, there's always been those stories. Against Div, it's actually true. He admitted it to me the other day. And I will admit I misplaced one Blops like 10 years ago. And everything else you may have heard is lies, just terrible lies, usually from Div, because he's trying to cover up his own losses.
Come here.
Uh, 18 years of Eve and you'll have more shit lost than found. Yeah, that's uh, that's definitely true. I've it's amazing the like you go on deployment, and you put something in a place and you're like, oh yeah, I'll come back to that. And Eve is cyclical enough that that does tend to happen.
Yeah, I still have a bunch of my recovered Loki gear that I still haven't packed up yet. I'll get to it later.
Sino kestrels. Oh, I like it. Man, when they pulled the Sinos and you couldn't put them on noob ships anymore. Oh my god, I had so many of those guys. I had dozens of them spread out everywhere. So many of us did. Oh, you've got some of the frigates with large rigs. Nice. I've got at least one carrier that's got large rigs on it. I can't remember if I have two or just one. I think it's just one that's got large rigs. I think mine's actually an Archon as well. Yeah. I can't remember if it's on the Archon or if it's on my Chimera. It's one of the two. Oh, 700 fully fitted. Nice. But back in the day when, large rigs were like that, I mean, ISK was worth a hell of a lot more than it is today. Inflation's real. Oh, you were in Razor back in Tino? Yeah, I was in Razor 12 years ago, something like that. Yeah, I lived in Tino with him too. Yeah, way up in the north. Yeah. Yeah, Razor's one of the just old alliances. If you read the shit, what were those books called? The Empires of Eve. You'll find them in it. And a very prominent group back in the day. Yeah, so when I was in Razor back at that point, this was, before the ECM changed. Oh yeah, with Morris Meehy. Oh damn, that's a blast from the past. I've heard that name in a long time. But we used to use ECM equipped Falcons, but I think you guys will love this. They were armor tanked. They were armor tanked Falcons, so you could have full mid slots of ECM, and you would just jump in. And we used to do that. And this was when, if you got a successful jam on somebody, they couldn't do anything. Right now, if you get a jam on them, they can target you as the ECM guy that's doing the jam against them. Back at that point, you could not. If they got a jam on you, that was it. They were toast. And so we would usually rainbow fit them, which is one of each kind of jammer, and then you would add in a couple extra. You couldn't do two of each kind. There wasn't enough slots for that usually. But you do one of each racial one and maybe a couple of the multis just to have them. And if you're going against a single target, you'd put 6, 7 of them on there, and there's no way one of those jams would land. Yeah, the old we used to call them boot fleet or boot dummies. Yeah, the old dummy sentry fleets. Yeah, spider dummies. Oh, if you guys didn't notice, I put a couple of videos in the MOTD from about the era that we're talking about here. These are from 2013, I believe it is. Some videos that CCP made for Christmas one year. These are the Yule lads. It's a Icelandic uh, tradition, I guess you would say. It's an Icelandic kind of piece. But the first one in there has got Santa just blasting the shit out of somebody, and it's pretty hilarious. At least I think it's funny. That's the first video. The second one isn't quite as good, I'll admit. I like the first video better. But I put both those in the MOTD if you guys want to see them. They're pretty fun. Everybody in those videos is a CCP dev, at least at that time. I honestly don't know that any of those guys are still around, but at the time, all of them were devs.
I think they are all retired now.
Yeah, I'll say as far as I know, they're all gone. Oh, you're in Rooks and Kings, yeah. I loved their video with the false pause that they did years and years ago. That video is hilarious.
Yeah, they use the devoter.
Yeah. It was a hick. I couldn't have told you it was a devoter, but they used a hick for it. For those of you who are not familiar, back in the day, again, this is 10 years or so ago, a heavy interdictor field and the shield on a pause tower were almost the exact same color. They were virtually impossible to tell them apart. Like nowadays, they are different colors, like dictor bubbles, pause shields, Hictor bubbles. They're slightly different colors, blue, green, red, that kind of thing. At this point in time, they were the same color. And if you're inside a pause shield, you're invulnerable, but you can't really do anything, right? You can't shoot anybody, do anything like that. These guys put a pause out, but didn't turn on the shield and put a heavy interdictor right on top of it, raised the interdictor bubble, and then when an enemy fleet landed on it, they just smashed them because they didn't realize that what was happening is these guys weren't using an exploit. They were got a Hictor there and they were shooting out of the Hictor bubble. The video is hilarious. If anybody's got it, you want to link it in Fleet. It's really funny.
Already done.
Did you? Perfect. There it is. If you guys want to see it, that is some metagaming shit from back in the day. It was. I'm glad it didn't happen to me because I would have fallen for it too because the colors are so similar. They're the ones who found out the wormhole tracking nerf too. The thing with using tracking disruptors in high-level wormholes. That's a crazy video too.
Yes, and they had also the infinite armor, or I don't remember this.
I don't remember that one. That's the one that had the one that I'm thinking of in the wormholes. If you use, and I can't remember what wormhole it was. I think it was Magnetar maybe had a penalty to tracking, but it turned out that if you put enough tracking disruptors on them, you could actually roll the number negative, and then it would treat it as an infinite tracking. So you could actually track frigates with like dreadnought guns at 200 kilometers and hit them perfectly.
Ah, yes, it was this one. Yeah, I remember now.
I'm grabbing all the fireworks.
Are y'all still doing the snowball fight?
Yep, we are.
Fuck yeah.
So when I joined, it was after ULI. I started in 2009, so I never used the ULI as a market. To me, ULI was this desert wasteland of despair. Jita has always been the main trade hub. I used to live out near uh, Heck area. My corporation was based out near Heck at the time, so I used to use Heck and Renz for the most part. But I also used Dixie because I also had another corp that I was in that was on the other side. But yeah, ULI was never a thing for me.
I used to live in Genesis, so it was not far.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I'm trying to remember when they kicked off the wars where they really destroyed ULI. I think that was that 2007, 2008, something like that. It was before I started in 09, so I think it was 7 or 8.
It was end 2006, if I remember, beginning of 2007, something like this.
Yeah, it sounds right because it was when they did the
They
they
changed
rammed
all.
the Nix into the station to make it explode.
Yes, this was in 2007.
Yeah, so back in the day, guys, CZB used to have a live events team, and they would do weird shit like that, and it was cool. But they really haven't had a live events team in quite some time now.
Yeah, it was funny because there was a Leviathan and Hisek, and we used to go just to look at it. We never had seen a Titan before.
Yeah. They've got that one out in Amar and everything with uh,
No,
the
this one was
Imperial
an
Parade. I mean, that's the new one though.
there was one in, I think, Kaldari Prime, something. I remember going there.
Yeah. You're right. They had the one in orbit for the lore stuff that they crashed into the surface when they were doing.
It was something with the Galanti.
Yeah, but what was that expansion? They did it with. Was it when
Just
Dust came
after,
out or something like that?
I think it was after Revelations 2. Then we had. It's too long ago, and I drank
Yeah.
way too much beer since then.
Yeah, I know what you mean, man. It's something like that though.
Something way before my time, that's for sure.
Yeah, they did a big thing with wormholes. Well, sorry, not wormholes. With the incursions, the original Sancha incursions. I think you guys will like this. So when those first came out, like nobody knew anything about them. CCP was really quiet about the mechanics. So the first high sec incursion that spawned like the wormhole, that the Sancha used spawned, and it was there. There were no rats came out of it. There was nothing. It was just there. And they did it for about a day, as I recall, with just that wormhole there, because they wanted everybody to know and everybody to come out to it. So I was out there, and people were hitting this wormhole with like gravimetric ECM because they thought they could collapse it, and doing all this kind of things because again, CCP had not released any details with it. There was a player who had to leave. I don't remember what was happening, but he had to quit, and just everybody knew it. He was had to do all this kind of stuff. So CCP actually coordinated with him, and he flew up to it. A super carrier came out into high sec. He jumped into that super carrier and then went back through the wormhole. And this was the first time we had ever actually seen the Sanchez super carrier. And they basically gave one to this guy as his Eve retirement because he had to stop and basically was never coming back. So he coordinated this whole thing with him. He's there. Everybody's like, what the hell's going on? Flies up to it. I can't remember if he was in a noob ship or just a pod, but flies up to it. This super carrier comes through. He jumps into it, basically says peace out, and goes back through the wormhole. It was very cool.
Yeah, I'd imagine so.
Yeah, that was a good one.
You there?
There are so many fireworks going off.
Yeah, sorry, that's me.
Oh no, it's
And me.
we're all firing them. When you want to see the Insanity Men, actually next week when I do it on New Year's, there'll probably be about 10 times as many people out here throwing fireworks.
Fuck yeah.
I'll probably make sure to bring my dreed.
I need to actually double check and make sure I set that for the right time and didn't do it a day off. Let me look at the schedule. Because obviously I did this on Christmas Day, but that's supposed to be on New Year's Eve. Oh, I did set it correctly. Excellent. Yeah, this is something, guys. If you have your stuff normally turned down on low graphics, like like a lot of people do, at least I usually do, to really see the fireworks and see how pretty this stuff is, you should crank them all up. The Eve is always, it's what we all say. The devs kind of do some annoying things, but man, the art team, these guys are fucking legends. They do
Agreed.
such good work. And especially the Halloween um, fireworks. They've got some that actually look like pumpkins. I'm not sure if we got any of them this year, but they actually would look like a pumpkin when they would hit the ship, and it was they do some great shit.
Okay, that is pretty.
Was it Crimson Harvest? Was that the pumpkin fireworks?
Yes.
I know they did it for the Crimson Harvest event, but Rosa, was it the actual Crimson Harvest one? Like they did that event, and then there's a whole bunch of fireworks with it, and one of them did make a pumpkin, but I don't remember which one specifically.
Yes, it is. I can go pull it out. Hold on.
Yeah, I've got 8 crates of them in me in me hangar.
So here's the thing. There's a catch. The Crimson Harvest crate, there's multiple fireworks types in there. At least they used to do it that way. So you won't necessarily get like 8 sets of that particular one because there's 2 or 3 flavors.
Capsuleer Day, I've got them.
Yeah, as we were saying, some of them are really, really nice. Some of them are a little, you know. The like the barium and copper ones, they're more like what you would see on a normal fireworks show. Like they're just, kind of like standard fireworks. They look nice, but then they've got some of because you used to get like 5,000 of them for an event. It was crazy. And you get like 200 of the really cool ones. You're like, damn it.
I have some of the, I think they're Valentine's Day, the Cherubic Heartburst. They're normally pretty expensive.
Oh, yeah. Those are pretty good, too.
I have 100 of those. I'll shoot them off.
So, Rose, my suggestion, maybe do like half of them today and then save the other half for next week when we do the New Year's one.
That's probably a smart idea. I have close to 100,000 fireworks currently sitting in multiple hangars, so I have a lot of fireworks.
I had a ton
I need
of
more
them.
fireworks then.
I was one of those. I had a whole bunch of them, and then we moved regions, and I don't have nearly as many as I used to.
Well, I put in buy orders before we moved.
Oh, nice.
Specifically because I knew that people wouldn't want to move them. And so now I just go and have a bunch of fireworks and continually hoard fireworks.
I shipped a whole bunch of them to Jita because they're so small. I was like, oh, whatever.
Halloween Horrors, I think that's what it was called.
Oh yeah, I think you're right. Because I think that was it. That sounds correct.
I've got some here. I'll try and fire them, see what they're like.
Let me zoom my camera out. Hopefully I can catch it.
Right, there we go. I've started firing them at you.
I think I just saw them because I saw a whole rash of orange, but I didn't see the pumpkin, so I don't think so.
Alright, I'm going to shoot the cherubic ones, so if anybody wants to see them, I'm going to do a couple rounds of them so you have a chance to see them. I'm not going to hopefully shoot all of them because I only have 100 of them.
Okay, I'm looking.
They're currently being shot at Ranger Gamma right now, so give them a moment. Looks like those little pink floofs.
I was saying, I think it's the pink ones. Yeah, that's the new piece there.
Aliens was wrong. There is sound in space.
That's been kind of a meme of Eve for so long. It's like, oh, Eve has sound.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm getting pretty tired because I stayed up all night last night.
Yeah, no worries, man. I'm starting to run out of my um, Euro allotment. I'm gonna do another one of these in like 6 hours for the American guys. So I think we'll probably go another like 15 minutes or so. I originally budgeted an hour for these, and I'm almost out of mine. I'm on kind of my last set of reloads. Hey, you know, that's fair, Ross.
Alright, take care. Merry Christmas.
Have a
Merry
good one.
Merry
Christmas.
Christmas.
I got you with a snowball duck.
Oh, I think you guys will like this too. When they first brought out these like festival launchers, right? They used to be the fireworks launchers and the snowball launchers, but they would show an aggressive act without actually giving you aggression. And so people would sit in Jita on the undock and they would start throwing fireworks and snowballs at people. And then those people would think they're under attack and they would fire weapons back and then they get concorded.
That's kind of hilarious, though.
I also like that when the snowballs, after a bit, there was melted snowballs. I still have a lot of them.
I do too. Yep. Yeah, those first sets of them would actually decay. I don't believe any of the new ones do, but those first sets did. Yeah, I've got some melted ones too.
Is there anything you can do with them once they're melted?
No, they're just collector's items. You can't put them into the festival launchers or anything like that. Actually, I have not tried with a festival launcher. Um, the old ones you could not, like the old fireworks launchers, because they were separate. There was two separate launchers. There was a snowball launcher and a firework launcher. You couldn't in those, but I have not tried with a festival launcher.
I've submitted snowballs and it doesn't work right now with festival launches.
Okay. Yeah, it's a bummer. Eric, so there's been the big riot that was in Gita 44 was known as the Summer of Rage. Um, and that was after what is sometimes referred to as Monocle Gate. That did happen, and people were shooting the monument in Gita 44. I'm not sure if that's the one you're talking about. It wasn't just miners; it was everybody was like, "Fuck you, CCP," and it was a crazy summer. In fact, if you look at the monument in Gita 44, the broken one that CCP added after that, the text on it is almost identical to a real monument in Reykjavik. I've been to that monument. The text is almost identical. It's pretty clear they walked up, took a picture of it, walked back to their office, and basically converted a couple of the words to EU speak, but it's virtually identical.
Yeah, I'm hoping to visit that next February.
I've been to FanFest a couple of times. It's a lot of fun to be there.
Yeah.
It's crazy expensive for food there because I got to literally import everything. So for me, I just had to go, okay, I'm here. Fuck it. Whatever the cost of this is, I'm gonna have it. Um, but it's lovely people. They're really nice. The craziest thing though is that when it comes to the end of the night, like no matter how busy a bar is, they'll just stop serving and just close, and that's it. Doesn't and it's
Yeah.
so different than the way it is in the U.S. I mean, it's just like it's just the craziest thing. You know, if a bar is just hopping, for the most part, the bartenders will just stay there because they're making tips, and you know they're like, "What do we care?" But not so in not so in Iceland. When it comes to closing time, that's it. You're done.
It's supposed to be one of the safest places in the world as well, Iceland.
I have heard that, and I would believe it, having been there a couple of times.
Yeah.
So the biggest
Yeah.
thing is when you arrive, you're going to land in Keflavik, and you got to get to Reykjavik, and they're really close on a map, but it's still going to take you about half an hour to 45 minutes to like drive there. So just to keep that in mind, you have to actually get from where the airport is to the actual like capital and do all that kind of stuff. Once you're in the
Yeah.
capital, super easy to walk around. It's classic like European layout. Everything's pretty clustered in there. Not like American cities that are just fucking sprawls, but
Yeah.
to get to it is kind of a pain in the ass.
That's like Amsterdam. You land at Schiphol Airport. I think it's about a 25-minute train ride into the city centre.
I have never been to Amsterdam, so okay.
Yeah, it's nice. Nice city.
Okay, everybody. I'm out of fireworks and snowballs, but I promised you guys an hour, so we'll go another 10 more minutes. I run out of ammo. Had my numbers slightly off. Just ignore him. He'll get the message eventually that you don't like him, and that's what I do. It works pretty well.
Yeah,
Yep.
I'm going to bounce Wi-Fi grow. Thanks, everyone, and Merry Christmas.
Yeah. Merry Christmas, man. Have a good one.
So I believe there's a Sino vigil this weekend. So
There
if you guys
is.
want to, there is. I know it's Christmas, but just in case anybody wants to come out with Sinos or fireworks, just keep your eyes open.
It's on the 28th, I was told.
Yep, it's one of my core members. So.
Yep, I know your CEO has been talking to me. So.
Yep. So it's gonna be fun. But hey, Merry Christmas, everybody.
See you later. Have a good one.
Merry Christmas, local.
Hey, Danny.
How are you doing?
Yeah, doing all right. We're gonna go a few more minutes. I've been recording everything for everybody, but it's gotten pretty calm. Most people are heading out or running out of ammo, and then I'm gonna do another one of these for USTZ in like 6 hours or something like that. I can't remember when I said it.
Yeah, pretty quiet now. A few people are online, but not very much. I'm looking about through some corp discords, and they are covering people who are alone with as a community. That is great spirit they're sharing.
Yeah, for sure. All right, guys, I'm going to kind of shut this down here. We'll go another, minute or two. I see some fireworks still flying there, but I think we'll call it a day. So, Merry Christmas for you all. Have a good rest of your day. And if you want to, or if I shouldn't say if you want to, if you are still awake in like 6 hours or something, I'm going to do another one of these for the USTZ crowd. We'll throw some more snowballs and fireworks. And then I will do one next week for New Year's as well. So, have a good day, night, morning, whatever your time zone is. You guys have a good one.
Thank you. Merry Christmas.